Welcome to Operation PaperDrip. I'm Nick McQuick. This is Uncle Hack. Speaking of paper, we might be going paperless. The government is rolling out digital IDs. Is this for your convenience, or are they trying to control you?
Well, they kind of had a test program with the whole COVID thing with the vaccine passports here in Canada and in some places. So I think that people were too receptive to it, so we're going to see something along the lines that's going to cause terror and fear to make you want to just have this little card or your phone, you know. And they're slowly already, like, we've went from the card form to now your card is now on your Apple Pay. You have Apple Pay, and it's like, to think that digital IDs aren't here, you already have a footprint online. Everything's attached to Facebook profiles, your Google profiles. They tap in. TikTok fucking talks to everybody. They know your contact list. The fact that we're even like, oh no, they're gonna give it, they're already here. You know?
They're already here. It's just now, instead of like several companies all working together to try and get your money or sell you something, or now the government's there. And I trust the government less than I trust most companies, Amazon, Google, all those guys. And now with them being able to tie like your digital ID to your health records, to your money, to travel records, like I think that could be a lot of bad things.
100%, man. And you know, even like you're saying, like these big companies, they're already in cahoots with big government. Big tech and big government are basically like battling of who's going to be the big one. And you know, we've seen it here in Canada that big tech is bigger than big government. By suppressing our news. They made Canada look like a joke. We still don't have, like, that has not been cleared. You cannot go and look at news in any Meta or Google. So like Canadian news is suppressed here, so big tech is winning.
Welcome to as close to news as you can get.
So like thinking that digital IDs and all this like doesn't exist, it does exist. It's just that you have to think a bit bigger than what you already are to see where it already is being implemented.
There's a couple problems that I have with it. One was like during the Vax Pass, the like whatever that app they had you put on your phone, I got to see like homeless people basically weren't allowed to participate in society.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have ID to match up to it. They didn't have a phone. So it's like, oh, okay, well now you guys just live outside until you die.
Yeah.
And the government can't work with the government most of the time.
No.
Like, how is this going to work? Because we're going to have a different government at a provincial level, a municipal level, and a federal level, and they all hate each other, and they're all working against each other. I think that any information at any level that the government can get is either going to be, like, not used properly or used against you maliciously.
Yeah. And it is just, I think it's just a tire fire right now to try and squeeze as much money out of like whatever systems there are, because we're seeing like mass amount of funds being pumped into wars that just aren't being used for what they say they're going to use. Like there was like a $500 billion contract that was supposed to go to an air defense system in the Ukraine where Raytheon was going to have this have this built and ready for Ukraine, and it's still been a year and they don't even know where the production is at on this. So $500 million just went poof.
And Ukraine got a slingshot.
Yeah. They actually paid about 5 of them Hamas hang glider guys to go and scoot on over into the Russian side.
Well, it's crazy that the money goes over there and it's like, oh, we're going to spend this money to help them. And it's like, but you're also, all the levels of government are going to take a cut and get their fingerprints on it. Then it goes to their government and they get their fingerprints on it and get their cut.
Yeah.
And then, they get nothing.
Exactly.
And for some reason, the government wants transparency with our funding and what we're spending it on with these digital IDs. And yet, for them, where does our tax money go?
We have no idea. We have no idea. By the time that you catch up and figure out where that money went 5 years ago, there's already like millions of other things that have taken place that you'll never keep up to them.
Yeah.
You know, and even with them trying to push the digital loonie on us, the public was completely against this right out of the gate because like their timing was the dumbest timing you could have possibly had it, you know, as crypto is like oh, look at this. I always say Canada is 5 years behind the American market, and I'm correct every time I bring this up, because crypto came out, like Bitcoin's been around for a while now, but then all of a sudden in the decline of cryptocurrencies, the Canadian government starts scratching their head and they're like, we should get in on this.
Yeah.
Ric
Flair just dropped a cryptocurrency. That's what we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
We're clout chasing the nature boy.
Unbelievable. And that just shows the stupidity of like the current regime in this country. Of like, as NFTs and all this are like being exposed for the frauds that they are, they're like, hey, what do you guys think about a digital loony? And they're like, no, we're just watching this thing crumble underneath. Like every moron through COVID that thought that they would become a millionaire off Dogecoin.
Oh God.
Had just hung themselves on their single bedroom apartment balcony. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe 5 years behind the Americans is generous, because I mean, blackface is still widely accepted here.
Yeah, but then it took us, and then we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Can you think of any positives for the digital ID?
No. I mean, if I was on the other side of the fence, yes.
Yeah, if I was the government.
Yeah, if I was the guy that was like, I don't like you, you don't get to spend any money today, yes. Then I can see the positives, but I'm on this side of the fence and I'm looking like, dude, this is bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, over the pandemic, we had the government was shutting down bank accounts of people that were donating to things that the government didn't deem as like patriotic.
Right.
Giving them more control. Why after they hit us with a stick, why would we give them a bigger stick?
Exactly. But you know what? If we were smart about the trucker convoy, we just needed to align ourselves with Islamic terrorists, and they would have brought out coffee and donuts for us like the Toronto police just did to all the pro-Palestine supporters that were blocking highways.
Yeah. Well, if you guys got a way to deal with digital IDs, please let me know. Leave it in the comments. And like, favorite, subscribe.
And say no to digital loonies, because strip clubs will fail in Alberta because of it. And I stand with our local peelers.
Strong on the pole. Strong.
Not P-O-L-L either. Just had to clarify for Nick.
Yeah. What are you gonna throw like those little scan codes at strippers?
Yeah. They'll have a QR code tattooed on their ass. Yeah. Your people were used to that.
Digital tramp stamp.
Yeah. They tattooed codes on you.
Yeah. Almost 600 of them.
All right. Canceled.